How do you keep your kids safe on Apple devices? I always recommend starting off with Apple products for your kids because the native parental controls are superior to any device out there. Which means without having to add anything, you are going to get the best parental controls on the market. I know it's tempting to buy a cheap Kindle Fire, but you're not going to get the same user experience you will with an iPad. I also know that it's a bigger investment up front, but given the fact that you don't have to have any additional softwares to keep it safe, it's probably going to even out in the end. All right, there's two places that matter on here. Down here where it says screen time and up here where it says family. Those are going to be where your main settings are. The first thing we're going to drill down into is screen time. Up here is screen time on the device that you're using. Usually not much for yourself, unless you need those safeguards. And if you do, that's no shame. This is where you can access them. Now down here are the members of my family. I've already set these up in the family sharing that I'm going to show you in a second, but I want to show you exactly the difference first before we jump into that. Now when I select on any of my children, it's going to show up here all the things that I can do for them. And these are the same settings that I had before, what I could control on my device. These are the settings that I have set for most of my little ones. Slowly they will earn this. Starting around 12, they'll be able to have a little bit more free roam and eventually have pretty much full free roam by the time they're 16 because I've given them to them a little bit at a time. Again, those takeover years are about teaching them how to hold their own weight up and then giving them a couple of years to be able to test out and see if they actually can carry their weight. When you go into the communication setting, there is a setting that tells you to check for sensitive photos. And this checks for pictures that are both being received and ones that are being sent out so that you're aware exactly what your children are doing. Because you need to have discussions around both of those things. So everything I just showed you is available down there on screen time. Now we're going to go up here and we're going to click family. Family is going to pull up a menu like this. Now you can only have 5 children on each account, which for a large family like me is annoying, but for a small family like yours is probably fine. And for younger children, you cannot just get them off your account. You have to transfer them to another family sharing account if they're under a certain age, which also can be annoying, but is actually a great safeguard. This family checklist is going to tell you things that have been changed so that you can keep track and just in case they've gotten a password. Because to access everything that I've shown you involves using a 4-digit PIN that you get to choose. My kids have never figured out mine because there's no context to it. It's just a random PIN. So don't use things like birthdays. One of the great features is that you have purchase sharing and subscriptions to make sure that you can share with everybody. But the thing that's going to save you $1 billion is this one right here, Ask to Buy. There is an illusion that when your child has an app and they're in that app and they go and press something and they want to buy Robux, that somehow they need the password in order to be able to buy that. Well, if they have the password, if it's stored on the device, they can go and buy Robux and bankrupt you by spending $1 million. But if you click this Ask to Buy, they can't do anything without you setting it, including downloading an app. My kids have to click Ask to Buy, it sends a push notification to my phone, and I approve it or decline it. There are plenty of other features in here that can benefit you, but these are the main ones that I think every parent should have with their kids. Although adding something like Bark is also a great idea, but this is all included.